Morning, everyone, and a very good welcome to the briefing for, well, we Tuesday, the 6th of August. So the synoptic chart today, you see midnight last night, they're showing this cold front slightly to our west. Midday today over towards the east coast. So it's a little bit slow moving, but that's what we're currently sat under, and it's why the weather is pretty miserable currently. Give it an hour or two, we should have quite a nice clearance, and hopefully be left with a reasonably soarable day. See the isobars reasonably close together, bringing in a fairly steady breeze from the west-southwest. Continuing on then to tomorrow, a similar picture. Isobars a little bit close together, so a bit windy for a sort of classic soaring day, but otherwise it looks like it could potentially be quite good tomorrow. Continuing on later into the week, probably a little bit of uncertainty here with these fronts moving in from the west. You see a couple of low pressure systems in the Atlantic. This warm front could be a little bit bothersome on Thursday if it does come through at that sort of time, but that's very likely to change. And then Friday also potentially getting quite windy, cold fronts around here. So I have to wait and see, I think, a little bit closer to the time. Wind today, 15 knots from about 255 degrees. So a very slight southerly crosswind on 27 by the looks of it. Sat pic, you can see very clearly that cold front over sort of over the top of us at the moment. And behind it to the west, yeah, a little bit of a clearance, hopefully. There's some sort of spots of cloud here, which we'll have a look on the radar. Is that rain? Yeah, maybe a little bit. So potentially a bit of a overly unstable air mass coming through with some showers, but forecast isn't really picking that up. It's just showing this rain here this morning. Just give this a refresh, see if it wants to move at all. No, so we've still got a little bit more to come by the looks of it. I'm running through the forecast. Looks like that should be done by about 11 o'clock. Certainly drying out by midday and going into the afternoon. Yeah, some development of showers out to the west over the sea, but it looks like we'll be staying pretty clear in our area and up to the north. And even into the West Country, looks like it's going to be fine. Public forecast then isn't picking up a lot of rain this morning, showing 50% at the moment and then 20% at 10, but it is showing the humidity to be very high, 97, 90. But by 11 o'clock, it's showing sunny intervals, humidity reducing, visibility improving, and then pretty much the same going into the afternoon, drying out quite a lot, humidity going to about 40%. So I think by later this afternoon, you won't really recognize the day compared to what we've had this morning. Midday temperatures then, 21 degrees. A little bit later, maybe 22, 23 degrees. Dew points, yes, you see it's a lot higher to the east, or under the influence of that front, but it's probably, once it's gone through nicely, about 10s, 9, 10 degrees. So actually quite a nice split. We've just got to wait until the afternoon until that really does dry out a bit more, and we get a nicer split there. Okay, that was a view outside 20 minutes ago, and that's a view outside now, so not improving at the moment. Currently, let's give this a refresh. 18.5 degrees, the dew point sat currently very high at 16 degrees. Unsurprising given the view outside, they're very close together, but they will start opening up within a couple of hours. Odium's forecast then. So they've put here a temporary up until 11 a.m. of broken clouds at 600 feet, light rain and drizzle. More of the same, but then becoming at some point between 11 and 1 p.m., few at 2,000 and broken at 3,000. So showing the clearance to be some point from 11 onwards. Farnborough, again, showing the poor weather this morning and then more of the same, drizzle and mist, becoming at some point between 10 and 1, 10 knots from the southwest and scattered at 3,000. So they're a little bit less optimistic on the timing of the clearance, saying any point from 10 till 1, but I think it will probably be about half 10, 11 o'clock looking at this. Okay, your potential flight distance is as shown. Unsurprisingly, it's better sort of to the west and to the north, further away from that front. Ours is just going to be a bit precluded by the fact that it's not going to get going until early to mid-afternoon. But it looks quite nice up to the north if anyone does fancy going cross country. If we look at thermals, we'll go at 11 a.m. Again, very poor to the east, drizzle there. not a lot going on in our area. Just zoom this in a little bit. Going forward to about 1 p.m. starts to get going. Convection's about 3 to 3,500 feet. It looks like there'll probably be a cumulus. It is showing it to be blue in places. So I expect there will be cumulus. By mid-afternoon, we're looking at about 1,700 meters with the potential on this forecast for a little bit of overdevelopment. But yeah, good to about 4,500 feet by the looks of it by mid-afternoon. We look at the site forecast. Thermal strength from about 1 p.m. is all it's showing. 2 knots, 2.5 knots mid-afternoon, so a little bit soft. Usable height to about 3,500 early afternoon, 4.5, maybe even 5,500 by later afternoon. Really? Okay, we'll wait and see. Okay, sky site potential flight distance for today. Yeah, showing similar, better up to the northwest. Not so good around Lasham. If we look at a point forecast for Lasham, then yeah, quite variable really, but looks like it'll be getting usable 2,000 feet here by about 1 o'clock. Interesting, they're showing quite a lot of rain from mid-afternoon, which is I'm not really expecting. Thermal strength 2.5 knots. It looks like it's a bit steadier about 4 or 5 p.m. So you might be able to get maybe a short cross country and Club 100 or something later on. I doubt people will be doing much more than that. It's showing about 3-knot climbs to about 3,000 feet. So very different to Top Meteo. If we have a look up in this good area, just as a sort of reference. So this is Gloucester area, showing good for 700k, obviously very locally. Soaring almost straight away, and 4 to 4.5 knot thermals up to about 4,500 feet most of the day. So it looks like Top Meteo thinks this area is slightly bigger than SkySight, and as a result, SkySight is not showing really much soaring in the Lasham area all day. I'm optimistic by mid-afternoon there should be something to be had out of it. Okay, quick look at NOTAMs 22 here. Yeah, normal ones. Some paragliders around. Otherwise, not a lot to affect. Something at Nymphsfield. Yeah, more paragliders and gliding competition. Yeah, nothing really to worry about today. On Friday, there's the Odium something or other Families Day, I think. They've got the Red Arrows play and other things going on, so various restricted areas. So if you are planning on flying on Friday, please make sure you watch the briefing in detail and have a look if you are going to be flying around. Have a look at the briefing sheets because it probably will shut us down for a short period of time. And for the rest of the day, there will be areas very, very close to us that we won't be able to fly in. So be very careful if you're flying on Friday. One of the movements, well, the movement we got today is this UK government aircraft coming in. In my research, I just found this briefing. This article. Apparently, they've been upgrading the loo, so it's good to know that the government have got the priorities in the right place. So that's arriving at about 9:24. I don't believe it's departed yet. It's coming in from Stansted, so it's probably a little bit late. Whether or not they'll get in with the weather is another question. So if they're sensible, they won't depart for an hour, but we'll see. We might be able to watch an Airbus do a couple of go-arounds this morning. Otherwise, the setup, when we do go out, will be standard 2.7. Winch cables, depending on how wet the grass is, we might offset to the south like this. The glider's winching on the grass here with the cables on the left-hand side, so the south side. Aerotows from the northern edge of the runway, and I don't think we'll have a need for the grid today. All 5 K21s are serviceable, 2 K13s are serviceable, 2 baby grobs. I think SH6 is still in the workshop. I might be wrong on that. I'll double check. 3 discuses. As mentioned, 321 Neo arriving at 9:30. UK government one, let's see. I haven't seen that one before. It's operated by Titan Airways, which is obviously why it's coming in now. So I'll go and get a couple of pictures of that. Just a reminder, no landing on the cross runways, please. Treat them as an emergency only option. Instructors, if you need to, take over to avoid landing on it. Simulated launch failure should not be an emergency situation unless you really messed it up. Glider ground handling, please make sure you've read the guidance and you're putting that into use. Simulator is serviceable and no doubt will be used this morning. And that's pretty much it from me. I will see you in the clubhouse and then on the airfield a couple of hours later. Bye for now.